And welcome back to part three of Volatility Master Settings. We finished off on the input magic number and we're moving on to range period initial. So we've got range period initial, range period stacked. This is just where you can set the time period for the range calculation for the breakout. So on the initial trade, it's going to calculate on this setting, it's going to calculate the top and bottom of the 5-minute range. And that's the range it needs to break out of to place a trade. The range period for stack trades on these settings, I'm using the 1-minute breakout. So if it's broken out of the 5-minute and it's kept moving that way and it can find an entry point, it's going to be able to find that entry point quicker if it's only on the 1-minute range. So that's what we've got set there. But either way, it's basing the stop loss off a 5-minute range anyway. So it needs a 1-minute breakout for a stack trade, but even the stack trade is going to have a 5-minute stop loss as well on these settings. Various pairs are different. And this software has really been designed to be really customizable by the user so that you can shape it to your own trading style. If you're an experienced trader and you want to shape it to suit your strategy, or not your strategy, but your style a little bit more, you can definitely do that. So that sets the range for the initial trades. It sets the range for the stack trades. And then we have two trend filters. So if you remember up here in the top right-hand corner, it's just under the green line. It's got the 5-minute trend, the 15-minute trend, 1-hour trend, and 4-hour trend. We're using the 15-minute trend. So what that means is that here where it says use trend filter or trend 1 filter, we've set it to true and we've set the time frame to 15 minutes. That's why this one is green, because we've set the software to only trade with the 15-minute trend. And at the moment it's a buy, meaning it will only take out buy orders. We have a second trend filter, which we currently have set to false. But if we set it to true and we set the time frame for it to 1 hour, now it will only trade with the 15-minute and the 1-hour trend. So both of these need to be lined up. So at the moment, the 15-minute, and if I did do all that and clicked OK on a real chart, then the 1-hour trend would be green as well. But we can see that the 15-minute trend is a buy, but the 1-hour trend is a sell. So if we had both trend filters activated like this, it's not going to trade because these two trends aren't lined up. So it's going to wait until they're both buys or both sells, and then it can look to take out a trade. By having two trend filters, it greatly reduces the frequency of the trades, but it can definitely potentially make that entry much more accurate. But I quite often just have it on false, which is what's on most of my templates, because I like lots of trades. I like to see a bit of action. But no, not only that, I do find that depending on the strategy and the pair I'm trading, generally just one trend filter works out the best. But sometimes having them both can be preferable. Alrighty, so the next lot of settings are our time parameters. Okay, so this pair, Aussie Yen, is a Forex pair, so it only gets traded Monday to Friday. That's why Saturday and Sunday are set to 0. Wouldn't matter what I had them set to because you can't trade on the weekend. But I have a Monday start time and a Monday end time, Tuesday start, Tuesday end, etc., etc. I've got it set to start at 90 and end at 420. What this means is it's set to start 90 minutes after the market opens. It does not matter where you are in the world, what time zone you're in. It doesn't matter what time zone your broker's in. None of that matters because this is working off market watch time, which is the same for everybody. So what this is telling me here is that since the market opened today, there's been 8 hours, 58 minutes, and 17 seconds since the market opened. So let's say it was Monday. The market opened. For the first 90 minutes or the first 89 minutes, the software is going to say not correct time. When the market watch time gets to 01:30, okay, 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is 90 minutes, then it's going to change to correct time and it can start to look for an entry point. And likewise, when it gets to 420 minutes, and it was just easier to work in minutes rather than have an hour and a minute entry. When it gets to 420 minutes, which is 7 hours after the market opens, it's going to stop looking for any entry points. So it's just trading that, what's that, a 5.5 hour period every day. And as I mentioned before, if you've got trades open and it gets to 420 minutes, this will change to not correct time and the software will stop looking for new trades. It will still manage any open trades. So if you have trades open and it says not correct time, it doesn't matter. It's still going to manage that trade. The profit locks will still activate, the trailing stop will still activate, and if you hit your take profit or your stop loss, that trade will get closed out. So the trade will still be managed. It just won't be able to open up any new ones when it's outside of those time parameters. And that's nearly all the settings, guys. We've got close all this pair. Alrighty, so if you want to set a time here, let's say 500 minutes, then, so for example, the software is going to start looking for trades at 90 minutes. It's going to stop looking for trades after 420 minutes, but still manage any open ones. But then if it gets to 500 minutes and the trade hasn't been closed by the software is going to close that trade anyway. I don't use this feature a lot, but there may be, for example, a red folder news event at 5 hours and 30 minutes after the market, at 530 minutes after the market opens. And I might want to just put in this here to make sure that trade is closed in case I forget to close it or something prior to that red folder news event, just to be on the safe side. So also not a setting I use a lot, but it does have a good practical use sometimes. ADR days, average daily range, you can set how many days. So you can see in brackets it's 20, which is what I have set here. You can change it to whatever you like, really. But it doesn't matter. These average daily and highest daily ranges don't form any part of the software's calculations. So set it to whatever you like to. Simply set it however you like, really. It's just there for your own use. One of my other softwares uses this as part of its calculations, but I still, and Volatility Master may incorporate some of this into its calculations at some stage, but even when it's not, it's still a figure I like to have access to. You know, for example, the average daily range is 170 pips, but so far today the market's already moved 310. You know, so I would keep that in mind, that the market's already moved further than it usually does on average. So perhaps there's not much more left in it today, things like that. Trade comment. If you look at the comments on the trades on your MT4 platform, if you have comments turned on, you'll see that the trade's been taken out by Volatility Master. And these last three trades are a new feature to this latest version, and it's HTL limiter TF. So that's higher time frame limiter, higher time frame limiter time frame. Anyway, but what that does is, and you can, it's another one you can set to whatever time frame you like. So these green lines here most likely won't be on your screen. The software is going to calculate them, so it will know where these lines are, but it's not going to display them. I've got them displayed here just because I needed to visualize it to make sure this concept and strategy was, and the coding behind it was working. And it's also good to have these lines here so that I can explain exactly what they do. So as the market moves up, it takes out a trade like it did here, takes out trades, trading, making profit, all really good. But this is this green line is indicating the top of the 4-hour range. Okay, we're only trading the 5-hour range, but this is indicating the top of the 4-hour range. So as the market's been moving up, we've been making good profit. But when we get close to the 4-hour range, there's a good chance that the market's going to bounce off that and continue and come back down for a certain amount of time. So this little area here is the danger zone. If you placed a buy order here or any order here, it's got a lower probability of being profitable simply because this is an area of resistance. There's a good chance that the market could retrace for a while. If it doesn't and it breaks through, then it's going to move this line right up to wherever the next highest 4-hour range is. And so then the software would be able to trade again. But just sort of, and we've got it set at the HCL distance is 300 points. So from here down to about here, which is 300 points, is essentially what we're calling the danger zone. So the software is not going to open up any stacked trades. It could still have an initial trade open, but it's not going to open up any more stacked trades in this danger zone simply because there is a higher risk of that trade losing money. As soon as the market breaks above that one, though, it's going to be like any other breakout. It's going to see, okay, so it's broken straight through that potential resistance. It's going to, then it would move that whatever peak to the left is causing the software to calculate this as the top of the 4-hour range. If the market breaks through it, it's going to negate it and it's going to move that green line, or in theory, that line up to the next highest 4-hour peak, and we'll keep trading until we get to within 300 points of that. All right, so that's a new feature, but I think a pretty exciting one. So it's just removing that chance of trading during that danger zone. All right, so that is that. And this max look back feature, I don't think I'll have that as a setting for you guys once you get this version of the software. That's just indicating how many candles to the left the software is going to look, trying to find those HDL timeframes. Alrighty, that's all those actual settings. There is one more thing I want to show you guys, and that's, yours won't say testing. Just let me bring up this one. That was on the back tester. But yeah, here we go. All right. Had a little issue with my screen sharing there, but I'm back in action. Um, One last thing I want to show you as far as settings sort of thing goes is so the inputs tab is all of those settings. The common tab is where you can turn on or off allow live trading. This will only turn off this one trading chart. Um, you don't need to have allow DLL imports checked. You can leave that blank. If you just have it set up how I do here, that's fine. Some softwares will require this one. That's why I mentioned it. One thing a lot of people don't know about automated trading softwares is that they all have this setting. By default, it's on long and shorts, meaning the software can do buy orders and it can do sell orders. But you can just set it to do longs only. So it doesn't matter how good the software calculates the sell order, it can't take one out. I only mention that because some softwares and some of the strategies I use with Volatility Master 2, that can be a quick way of telling the software only to do the right thing. So if you can see yourself that the software, that the market should be going up, is most likely going to go up, then you could set it to only long. So once the software agreed with you that it's long, it's going to take out a trade. But if it thought maybe a sell's good, it won't be able to take it out. That's something I use um, a little bit with red folder news events. If the news event's really, really positive for that currency, then you can set it to only trade longs and it just won't do anything until everything lines up for buy orders. But don't be too concerned about that. There'll be more videos on that particular strategy anyway. All right, guys, that's the Volatility Master settings. And I'll see you in the next video where we're talking to each other or I'm talking to you and you're listening. Have a good day.